The most beautiful historical jewellery tiara Dolphins Chaumet has another tiara similar to the Marquise of Lubersac, but with a more complex design. The Dolphins tiara was created in the Chaume workshop in 1900. In its manufacture, the master of the House of Chaume used not only diamonds, but also a very large natural pearl. The Marquise of Lubersac tiara. This tiara was created in 1904 for the Marquis de Lubersac. The Marquis ordered the tiara as a gift to his daughter-in-law, Baroness Constance Livermore. Constance received the decoration for her wedding with the Marquis's only son, Odon Lubersac. Queen Camilla, wife of Charles III, is known for her love of jewellery, especially pearl chokers. She has several expensive chokers that she often wears in public. One of the most famous is a choker of 3 rows of pearls with a huge aquamarine called the Night Necklace. The origin of this jewellery is shrouded in mystery. Some believed that the choker was given to Camilla by Prince Charles at the beginning of their relationship. Others, that it belonged to her first husband, Andrew Praker Bowles. However, it was later revealed to be a family heirloom belonging to Camilla's mother, Rosalind Cubitt. Rosalind received the decoration in the 1970s. The choker consists of 3 strands of large pearls and a huge rectangular-cut aquamarine set in gold with curls and decorated with small diamonds. This combination of gold and aquamarine is unusual and original, as aquamarines are usually combined with platinum. Before marrying Charles, Camilla often wore this choker, both at home and at important events. After the wedding, she continued to wear it, but less often. Now Camilla wears a choker only to the most significant events, but it remains her favourite piece of jewellery. Each royal family has its own jewellery collection. One of the most famous Danish tiaras is the tiara of Princess Dagmar, now owned by Prince Joachim's wife, Princess Maria. Maria received this jewellery in perpetuity from her mother-in-law, Queen Margaret II, mother of Joachim and the current King Frederick X. Ever since Maria married Joachim, Princess Dagmar's tiara has become her workhorse. Maria wears it to almost every formal event, including her wedding. The tiara is named after Princess Dagmar of Denmark and Iceland, daughter of King Frederick VIII. Dagmar was named after her aunt, the Russian Empress Maria Feodorovna. The tradition of naming girls in the Danish royal family by the name Dagmar dates back to ancient times, when King Valdemar II chose the Czech princess Dragomir as his wife, whose name the Danes began to pronounce as Dagmar due to the difficulty of pronunciation. Princess Dagmar's brother was King Christian X, who sheltered Maria Feodorovna after the revolution. Christian, despite the love of his subjects, was known for his rudeness and brusqueness. This caused Maria Feodorovna and her family many unpleasant moments. For example, when the morganatic husband of her daughter Olga Alexandrovna, Nikolai Kulikovsky, got a job as a groom, Christian publicly joked that he saw a groom at his desk, which greatly upset Olga. The floral tiara of Princess Dagmar of Denmark and Iceland is an exquisite piece of jewellery that arouses interest with its history and significance. The exact date when Dagmar received the tiara is unknown, but it quickly became one of her favourite accessories. Contemporaries noted that the princess wore a tiara even at an advanced age, which indicates her special affection for this decoration. After Dagmar's death, the tiara passed to several of her heirs before becoming the property of Queen Margaret II. Margaret also loved this piece of jewellery and wore it for many years. Eventually, she passed the tiara on to her younger sister-in-law, Maria, continuing the family tradition of wearing this precious accessory. The Dagmar flower tiara remains a symbol of beauty and elegance, passed down from generation to generation. The tiara that remained inaccessible to Princess Diana. Princess Diana's grandmother, Lady Ruth Fermoy, warned her granddaughter about the possible consequences of marrying the Prince of Wales. She understood that Diana did not fit the image of a princess, although she met all the requirements for a royal bride. Later, Lady Ruth had to apologize to Queen Elizabeth II for choosing Diana. The wedding of Princess Diana's parents was beautiful. Frances, the bride, in a dress resembling the wedding dress of Queen Elizabeth II, looked like an angel. Her hair was decorated with a farm family tiara. The Fermoy tiara is the private property of the Fermoy family, unrelated to the royal treasury. She attracts the attention of history buffs, especially in the context of her connection to the Diana Spencer family. The exact date of creation of the tiara is unknown. Its design suggests that it was created in the 20th century, possibly from other family jewels. The pearls on the tiara are removable. Ruth Fermoy, the fourth Baroness Fermoy, often appeared in a tiara at special events. In a 1953 photograph, she is pictured with her daughters, Maria Cynthia and Frances. In 1959, Lady Fermoy danced with the Vice President, Lord Airlie, at the 11th Royal Colden Ball at Grosvenor House. In 1954, the eldest daughter of Lady and Lord Fermoy, Maria Cynthia, married Sir Anthony Berry. She wore the family tiara at the wedding. In the same year, Frances married Viscount Althorp, heir to Earl Spencer. Ruth Fermoy did everything possible for her daughter to become John Spencer's wife. Lord and Lady Fermoy had a son, Edmund, the fifth Baron Fermoy, who inherited the family tiara. Ruth Fermoy was seen wearing a tiara in a 1968 photograph in the Royal Box of the Royal Opera House. The tiara that remained inaccessible to Princess Diana, the stone of happiness and eternal youth, the most beautiful aquamarine tiaras of the Romanovs, Windsors and other royal families. Aquamarines are bright blue gemstones that jewelers value for their ease of processing. They are associated with lovers, philosophers and kings. Aquamarines were admired by ancient people for their tenderness and freshness. The name aquamarine comes from the Latin aqua marina, which means sea water. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, aquamarines were especially popular among kings and nobles. Today, they are in demand again. The best jewelers create luxurious jewelry from them, which are ordered by representatives of ruling dynasties around the world. Many of these masterpieces have survived to the present day. Queen Elizabeth II aquamarine set. For example, just a luxurious, perhaps even the most luxurious in the world, aquamarine set is available in the collection of the British royal family. It is known that Elizabeth II was very fond of wearing this Brazilian aquamarine parure. The necklace and earrings from this parure were presented to Elizabeth by the Brazilian people in 1953. The Queen liked the gift so much that 4 years later she decided to order an aquamarine tiara in the same style. Realizing that Elizabeth liked the gift, 2 years later the Brazilians presented her with an aquamarine bracelet and a brooch. Thus, the English Queen became the owner of the largest and most luxurious aquamarine miniature in the world. The 5-snowflake tiara is a unique piece of jewelry by Queen Elizabeth II, made of 5 diamond snowflakes with large aquamarines. Elizabeth could have ordered this tiara herself or received it as a gift from her husband. She first appeared in it in 1970 during a visit to Canada, which is why the tiara is called Canadian. Today, this decoration is worn by Countess Sophie of Edinburgh, the wife of Duke Philip. Sophie is known for her love of aquamarines and owns several jewelry pieces with these stones. A snowflake tiara has been seen on her several times. Sophie also has an aquamarine transformer tiara that can be worn as a tiara or necklace. Camilla liked another aquamarine jewelry of Elizabeth II. Aquamarine tiara Olga Paley's egret. Aquamarines were loved not only by ordinary people, but also by representatives of high society in pre-revolutionary Russia. A striking example is the aquamarine egret tiara that belonged to Princess Olga Paley, the morganatic wife of Grand Duke Pavel Alexandrovich. Pavel Alexandrovich, the younger and beloved uncle of Nicholas II, enjoyed the emperor's special favour. However, their relationship soured when Nicholas II learned of Pavel Alexandrovich's marriage to Olga, the wife of his subordinate. In anger, the emperor expelled his uncle from the country, deprived him of the Romanov allowance, and confiscated all his property in Russia, appointing managers for his palaces and estates. The Grand Duke's income abroad was small, but he could afford to give Olga jewellery, albeit not as luxurious as that of other Grand Duchesses. Olga Paley's aquamarine egret tiara was part of a complex that included a necklace and corsage jewellery. Belle Époque tiara. In Britain, aquamarine jewellery can be found not only in the collection of the royal family, but also among the nobility. For example, in 2007, Baroness Hesketh's wonderful aquamarine tiara was sold at Sotheby's. It is known that the tiara was created in 1910. The jewellery was put up for auction by the guardians of the minor Baron Frederick II Hesketh, who was then the last owner of the castle. The tiara consists of 9 aquamarine stones connected by diamond bay leaves. In Tsarist Russia, aquamarines were not considered particularly valuable stones for imperial jewellery. Until the end of the 19th century, Romanov jewelers did not create tiaras and necklaces with aquamarines. Alexandra Fyodorovna also became the owner of an aquamarine manicure. Her famous set, made in a strict design, was presented to her by her husband Nicholas II in 1900. The decoration consisted of a tiara that could transform into a necklace. Princess Madeleine's aquamarine tiara is one of her favourite pieces of jewellery. In one of the official photo portraits, she chose this particular tiara, which accentuated the blue colour of her eyes. The tiara is made in the form of a Russian kokoshnik with large, round aquamarines separated by diamond rows. Her design combines tenderness and femininity. The tiara was made in the second half of the 19th century by the Koch Jewellery Workshop. The first person to wear it was Swedish Princess Margaret, the granddaughter of Queen Victoria. After her death in 1920, Madeleine's grandmother, Princess Sibylla, inherited the tiara. In 1972, the tiara was given to Sibylla's daughter, Margaret, who is its current owner. Margaret often wore this accessory in her youth. The jewel of the national collection of Danish crown jewels is a luxurious diamond and emerald parure. The treasury of the Danish crown is full of masterpieces of jewellery art. The famous diamond and emerald parure stands out especially, including a magnificent tiara and other stunning jewellery. Many of the jewels in Rosenborg Castle were made no later than the 18th century. They originally belonged to queens and princesses. The emeralds were owned by Sophie Magdalene of Brandenburg, 1700 to 1770, a German-Polish princess who became Queen of Denmark and Norway after her marriage to King Christian Sixings. In 1839, Christian VIII, the great-grandson of Christian VI, and Sophia Magdalene became King of Denmark. His wife was Caroline Amalie of Schleswig-Holstein-Sonderburg or Gustenberg. Pay attention to her unique diamond tiara with a fringe in the shape of a coconut and other jewellery. Some of them, including a necklace and a floral brooch, are still part of the Danish crown jewels collection. Queen Caroline Amalie commissioned jeweller K.M. Weishaupt to update antique jewellery in 1840. The parish was transformed for a series of celebrations dedicated to the coronation. According to some historians, the redesign of the kit was intended as an anniversary gift. The tiara and other elements of the parure are decorated with precious ribbons. When Margrethe became queen in 1972, she also displayed an emerald parure at special events. She reserved the emerald jewels for the grandest celebrations of her reign. For example, in May 2004, she added them to her outfit at a gala dinner in Copenhagen during the wedding of Crown Prince Frederik and Crown Princess Maria. Margrethe likes to combine jewellery with evening dresses in a rich shade of green. For example, such a composition could be seen in April 2010 at a gala concert during the celebration of her 70th birthday in Copenhagen. The princess's star, Maria Pavlovna's unique tiara, Grand Duchess. Maria Pavlovna was known for her love of jewellery. The intelligent, domineering and ambitious wife of Grand Duke Vladimir Alexandrovich possessed an extensive collection of expensive jewellery. Her passion for jewellery began in her youth when she was named Princess Maria of Mecklenburg-Schwerin. The Duchy of Mecklenburg-Schwerin, where Maria came from, was not rich. Therefore, the dowry for her was collected by the Romanovs. At the wedding, Maria received many gifts, including an expensive tiara with diamond rays. Such tiaras were popular among the highest nobility of that time. One of the most famous owners of such a tiara was the wife of Alexander III, Maria Feodorovna. A similar tiara is still kept in the collection of the British royal family. It was made for Queen Alexandra, Maria Feodorovna's sister, who wished to have one after getting acquainted with the magnificent tiara of the Russian Empress. Elizabeth II adored this tiara and wore it at her wedding to Prince Philip. In Russia, such tiaras were called radiant, and in Britain, Russian fringe. Maria Pavlovna's tiara was also made of diamonds and was considered one of the most expensive pieces of jewellery in her collection. However, the princess practically had no opportunity to wear it. The photo of Maria Pavlovna in this tiara has not been preserved. Maria Pavlovna was a great fashionista and loved to appear in public in tiaras. Once, because of this, a scandal almost broke out at the court. After the ball, the guests had to go to the theatre, and Empress Maria Feodorovna decided to change into a more modest dress and jewellery. All the ladies had to follow her example. However, Maria Pavlovna stated that she did not intend to change her clothes. Alexander III came to the rescue, and the princess, blushing, went to change her clothes. Although Maria Pavlovna rarely wore her radiant tiara, she still had the opportunity to showcase it to the public. The fact is that the tiara was a transformer jewellery. It could be worn as an ordinary kokoshnik or as a large diamond star. Maria Feodorovna and Alexandra Feodorovna wore a tiara only in the form of a tiara, so Maria Pavlovna could afford this option. To this day, a photo of the princess in a tiara, assembled in the form of a star with a large gem, has been preserved. Maria Feodorovna's huge sapphire. What have modern jewelers done with it? After the October Revolution, the Bolsheviks dismantled most of the Romanov jewelry collection. The gold, silver and platinum of the frames were melted down into ingots and sold. Precious stones were also shipped to the foreign market. Most of the Romanov jewellery was irretrievably lost, including stones from the magnificent prints of the Russian empresses. These stones were used to create new jewellery, and it is now impossible to recognise them. The royal jewels were dismantled for this purpose in order to avoid a major scandal in Europe. A striking example of such a stone is the 198-carat sapphire that belonged to the Russian Empress Maria Feodorovna. Maria Feodorovna was the wife of Alexander III and the mother of Nicholas II. She was different from other empresses. She was a Danish princess, not a German one. The upbringing and traditions she absorbed from childhood left an imprint on her character in adulthood. According to the memoirs of contemporaries, Maria Feodorovna was able to easily win people over, was energetic, and had excellent taste in clothes and jewellery. Maria Feodorovna attached great importance to jewellery. Like Catherine II, she believed that the empress of such a powerful country as Russia should look luxurious. Maria Feodorovna had a lot of jewellery: tiaras, necklaces, brooches made of various types of precious stones. One of her favourite varieties was sapphires. Knowing this, Alexander III often gave her jewellery with sapphires. The sapphires in Maria Feodorovna's parades, tiaras and brooches have always been expensive, pure and with a deep, rich blue hue. Perhaps it was thanks to Maria Feodorovna that such stones became fashionable in Europe. Even today, Queen Elizabeth II has several sapphire brooches made in the same style. One of Maria Feodorovna's most famous jewels was a brooch with a huge sapphire. She wore it on special occasions. The brooch was made by Fabergé and is surrounded by 26 diamonds. This brooch can be seen on Maria Feodorovna in the photo from the costume ball of Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna and Grand Duke Vladimir Alexandrovich in 1883. After the revolution, the sapphire from Maria Feodorovna's brooch ended up abroad. It is unknown how this happened. Perhaps Maria Feodorovna took it out herself. In exile, she refused to sell jewellery because it reminded her of Russia and her loved ones. After her death, the jewellery was sold by her daughter Xenia. After the Empress's departure, a scandal almost broke out in Europe over these jewels. Maria Feodorovna lived in Denmark, where she was hospitably received by her nephew, the Danish king Christian X. Christian was tight-fisted and believed that Maria Feodorovna was in need. Her sister, the English Dowager Queen Alexandra, convinced her son, King George V, to grant Maria Feodorovna a pension. After Maria Feodorovna's death, both the Danish and English kings set their sights on her jewels. George V proved to be more efficient. After the Empress's departure, Xenia secretly shipped the jewellery box to England, which angered Christian. The fate of the big sapphire. Perhaps Maria Feodorovna herself took the large sapphire abroad, but most likely this stone was not in the box after her death. A similar brooch appears in Fersman's catalogue, published in the 1920s. This catalogue includes the confiscated jewels of the Romanovs and other nobles.